which I don't recommend. People get divorced and go get married.
Oh, yes, I've had that option as well. And I looked at it, I was like, I'd rather pay. The husband lost the job, or the husband does not have money anymore. And the baby mama was going to the wife, claiming from the wife or something like that. And I was like, try me. And try me. Me, I'll find a very strong lawyer. You won't even succeed. You see that one? No. Let's not even go there, my dear.
But
Don't.
now,
like also, why would you even do that to the wife? Why would you do that? Hi everyone, welcome to O Narrative Podcast by myself, Promise Makunyane. This podcast is about marriage and family dynamics. As you already know, if you want to be on my podcast, you have to send us your story using the email address that is popping on the screen. Also, don't forget on your email, you need to put in your number, preferably your WhatsApp number, so that we can contact you once we have got a hold of your story. So guys, today I thought... So I'm thinking with my podcast, now and then I'm going to bring in educational segments, you know. This is one of those episodes where I want Bomakoti to be like wives to be wives already, you know, or people that are out of their marriages, even baby mamas, even side chicks, you know. You could learn a thing or two from this episode. So I thought I should bring in a lawyer, Xolani, that I met on TikTok. You are so welcome.
it's good to be here. It's good to be here.
You look nervous. Why are you nervous? You always speak to audience or maybe one person. You always behind the mic.
No, I'm not used to cameras.
Okay, and there are lots, ne?
I'm used to radio interviews. Those ones are easy.
Yes, you're
those
not
ones are easy.
looking at anyone. Okay, cool. So, Xolani, I met you on TikTok. You've got a TikTok account. I'm going to link his thing. I found your content very educational. You challenge us. You challenge people like, we just randomly say like things as people like, a woman can't do this to my husband, can't do this to my children's, whatever. And then you'll just like cut it nicely and say, it goes like this, it goes like that, it goes like that. I love your content so much. What kind of law did you study, or which lawyer are you? I don't know how to ask this question.
In terms of what law do I specialize in?
Okay.
I do different kinds of laws. But basically, the most dominant one is the family law.
Okay.
Your divorces, your customary divorces, your ANCs, and all those things. But to be a lawyer, you do a lot of things. You do a lot of things which will involve a lot of civil litigation, transfers, and all those. But I think for the purposes of this, it's family.
It's family
law, yeah.
100%.
So I do that, and I studied at the University of Limpopo.
Are you from that side though?
No.
You are a KZN?
Yeah, from Newcastle.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did you end up that side?
Application.
Okay. No, I mean, why did you choose Limpopo?
It's a question everyone keeps asking me,
Yeah.
and unfortunately I've answered it a million times.
Yeah.
I have no answer to it. Yeah, it was just Limpopo was just the chosen one, and it was a wonderful institution to be and study the law at university. So at UL we studied a lot of. UL teaches you a lot of different kind of laws. That is why it's very difficult to specialize when you are from that university.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very difficult because you study a lot of laws within the 4 or 5 years that you are there.
All right.
Yeah.
So after you studied LLB, right?
Yeah.
And then are you an attorney now or an advocate?
For now, I'm still in the process of being admitted as an attorney.
As an attorney. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I want us to start here. There's a young lady that wants to get married, there's a young lady that is looking into marriage. Please tell us about the contracts. Tell us about different marital contracts that this lady can go into.
When a lady wants to get married, let's start with the civil side of things.
Okay.
Where people go to Home Affairs and sign a marriage certificate and all that. So there are different kinds of laws which applies in a marriage. One, a civil marriage can be in community of property, which is the most famous one.
Yeah.
And people know it the best, where it says yours is mine. Yes, kanjalo, where you are sharing everything, meaning you are sharing the entire estate which you had before, even during the marriage.
The marriage.
Yeah. So there you don't need to sign anything. In South Africa, it's automatic. As soon as you get married at Home Affairs and you sign, automatically it's in community of property. So if you want to convert it to out of community of property, now that's where you need a contract and ANC. People know it as a prenup.
Yeah.
You sign it, the ANC then will stipulate that you are being married out of community of property.
What does that mean?
There are two types of out of community of properties. There is out of community of property where the two individuals are not sharing anything.
Meaning that whatever I came with, whatever my husband came with, it's mine.
Even anything that will be accumulated during the marriage.
In the marriage, it's mine, it's his.
It's divided.
Debts and also assets.
Yes.
Okay.
Then there is marriage out of community of property with the accrual system.
What does that mean?
That means we are sharing everything that we make from the date of marriage.
Okay.
Meaning if we are getting married today, the only thing that will be shared is what we are starting to accumulate today.
In the marriage going forward.
Till the end of the marriage.
Okay.
Either by divorce or by death.
Yeah.
So that one's what you call keeps your assets which you made when you were still single safe. If you have a car, if you have a house before that marriage, meaning it will be safe, it won't be part of the estate.
Yes.
So those are the three type of marital systems in civil, even in customary law. So in customary law, what you call marriages.
Yeah. Maybe explain to them what customary. We want to use like the simplest. Yes, use the terms and then make it in a simpler form.
Customary law marriage is when we do your lobolas. I don't know in other cultures what they do.
What they do, yeah.
But those traditional celebrations that they do in order to celebrate the marriage customarily. Yeah. Usually black people do it before the civil one. And then they move to the civil and go marry the white wedding and all that. Which is unnecessary in law, because in law we look the first marriage that you entered into. Meaning if you sign an ANC when you are going to Home Affairs, but there was a lobola negotiation, the only marriage that stands is the lobola negotiation. Ah,
you see there, now that is something that I didn't know, or I wasn't cognitive of. I know that customary marriage, lobola, you are married in COP if you don't have an antenuptial. But I never knew that if they started lobola for me 2018 and then we didn't sign. Then 2019 white wedding, we do an antenuptial. We go to Home Affairs. Are you guys going to say that you are already married, you guys?
Unfortunately, with the system and how people do things, because after getting lobolad, you need to go and register that lobola with Home Affairs. But people don't do it. Then if it's not in the system of Home Affairs and you come and you say you want to get married according to Home Affairs will register you because you are not in their system. Okay, so now they will take my antenuptial and marry me. Okay. But now the problem starts when there's a divorce. Now when there's a divorce, you are sitting with us consulting, then we ask you, when did they lobola you? 2013. Then when did you sign at the Home Affairs? 2020. So the marriage which exists is the 2013 marriage. No, what are you saying? No. You see that one? No. That is a very important point that I think a lot of us don't know. So now I lobola 2018, we don't sign. 2019, we white wedding and we go to Home Affairs with an antenuptial. 2020, we divorce each other. And I come to you and I'm like, this man can't take my things. And then my husband is like, no, I want those. A simple case, Nelson Mandela case. Versus Winnie Mandela. Okay, please take us through it. Hey, Batong. Nelson Mandela divorced Winnie Mandela according to civil law, forgetting that they were married. There was a lobola negotiation before that. And when Mr. Mandela passed away, yes, Winnie Mandela brought an application to be declared as the wife, and she was declared as the wife. But
Did you guys know about that? No, I didn't know about that. And that was many years ago. They loboled many years ago, and she was like, and maybe she was quiet all along, saying that I'll watch this man. I'm watching this man.
You will never know what
she thought.
But she was declared as a customary wife, and I think she did inherit. She was eligible to inherit according to the systems of inheriting.
So now, how do you now inherit? Like, how will they will share 50-50 with the current wife? Was it Krasha?
Yes. I think if just that I'm not sure if Randa was Lobola was paid, but I think it was since Mr. Mandela was Xhosa. So I think they were both declared as spouses to Mr. Mandela.
So you are in East Tembu, you don't know until the very last end that I didn't know that. And I think that's just education for everyone, that because there are other, even in our culture, however, now I got lobolat, how we do, I'm Bedi, but then my tribe says, Rabarakopa. So the husband comes on a Friday to bring the lobola, the cows and the money. Then Saturday, it's a white wedding. Sunday, it's the white wedding at the husband's house. So it's done all at a go, not... And like just the broader beddies, they do the lobola. You can lobola me this year and marry me in 20 years to come or whenever to come. That's like something that people need to put out there. And I'm actually shocked.
But most of the young people these days, they know this. Most of them come to us for an ANC before lobola. Mostly have came.
Yes, now... Yeah, you're right. Now this customary thing, a lot of young people, we are like aware of it. Even if it was half lobola, they have to sign something.
Even the WHP case. If you followed WHP, when WHP died, the family rejected the wife.
The wife was like, this is my husband.
And brought an application, she was declared as a customary wife.
So Lerato, that's Lerato. So Lerato could bury the husband.
She was given permission to
bury the husband.
She was even declared as a spouse, the only spouse. Because the question there was, the family didn't go and negotiate a lobola. So there are requirements to be met if you want to be in a customary marriage. And if you meet one, automatically you are in a customary marriage. So Ulirato met the requirement of being handed over to the other family.
Yes.
Because she was staying with the family of WHP, and her family knew where she was. So that's an officially handover to the family, which is part of the requirement. So there was an official handover. Because during lobola, there's a handover where you sit there and now that's your family. Yeah.
Hey guys, you see now you need to tread very carefully with this the fat and set as well and stuff. What is this whole thing of fat and set, Yona? But when you fat and set for 6 months, people can claim spousal what or whatever that is.
No, unfortunately, that is not true. A fat and set will just remain as a fat and set.
There is no worry. If this man have been paying, like there was a transaction in my account for like a year, I can go. When he passes on, I can go. I'll give you a practical example. Let's say my husband has got a side chick. They go for 6 months, a year. And then my husband, God forbid, passes on. Can the side chick come and claim anything out of my husband's estate?
According to the Pension Fund Act, it talks of him, if the deceased was supporting any beneficiaries who he was supporting or she was supporting. Anyone who was supporting, they can claim from the pension fund.
Even side chick is a beneficiary?
I need to the husband was taken care of. But there's also a practical part of things. Practical in practice.
Yeah.
It's very rare for it to happen. Yeah, it's very rare because if now the person dies and they have a wife, and you come as a side chick and you say, I want to claim maintenance from the estate.
Yes.
The Master of High Court will first, a rule of benefiting, especially if someone doesn't have a will, is that the wife benefits first.
Yeah.
The wife takes 50% because they were married in commits of property.
Automatically. First, before we talk about kids and...
It's the wife. The wife is the first. Then there's a rule that says the wife will also get 250 or the child's share. Now, meaning if the child's share is lesser than 250, the wife takes everything.
What does that mean?
That means, let's say, for instance, the estate is 500,000.
Okay.
Then the wife will take half, which is 250,000. Now, 250,000 is there, and it's maybe, let's say there are 4 kids.
Yeah.
Now, 250,000 divided by 4 is not 250.
Oh.
So that amount will go to the wife, because the wife will also take that 250, which must be inherited by the kids.
So now how much money for the 4 kids should be there for them to benefit?
I think the estate must be big.
Oh,
must
bigger
be
than
very
that.
big, maybe 1 million, so that the wife, when the wife takes 50%, also takes the 250.
Yeah.
Then there's change left for the children. Then that's the only. Then after the children, after the 250 and the children, anything left is left for anyone who will come to claim.
So they will keep that money there, waiting for people to come and claim.
Usually, the master will put a first preference to the kids and the wife, who were primary beneficiaries.
Yeah.
But someone else who comes, maybe a neighbor who was being helped, an uncle, a sister, an aunt.
Yeah.
Usually, they don't get into the L&D when it's drafted. Yeah, usually practical.
Yeah.
But in law, if the estate is very big, maybe everyone can benefit. But
share.
usually, it's very rare to find a very big estate. It's exceptional cases.
Okay. So I got married 2018 and then November, and then we signed 2018 December. So I remember after we got married, we went to honeymoon. When we were there, we were talking about signing, you know. And my husband was like, yeah, we need to go and consult a lawyer and draft an anti-nuptial and because of the business. You know, a black woman, eh? I'm a black woman. I was like, yo, you think you are clever, Wena? You think you are clever? Now you are bringing in contracts. You think you are clever now. And my husband was like, oh, okay. If you're saying no, let's go and sign. We went to Home Affairs, we signed. When we got in the marriage, now you start to know, you start to learn, you start to hear. And I'm like, I think a post-nuptial should be in place. My husband's like, that's none of my business at this point. I went and I found out. I went to do my own research. My husband was like, I'm not a part of that. I told you. Like, I really told you. And by then, there was no charges, big charges. And when I found out that post-nuptials are expensive, this first a lady lawyer charged me 40,000 rands. And he explained to me, we have to do a court application. We have to publish what in the deed of wara wara. And I was like, okay, all right. My husband was like, it's on you, mama. What is that?
Unfortunately, that is true. Unfortunately, post ANC is a process. It's not like before before you get married. Before you get married, it's just a contract. You go in front of a notary, you sign, then you go get married. Then, if maybe the ANC is not yet registered, they give you a letter. Then you take that letter, go to the Home Affairs, the marriage will be out of court. But after, an application needs to be made at the High Court, because now there are a lot of people involved. There are a lot of creditors. You guys have joint access together. You guys have loans. You guys have cars and all that. So usually, when you are applying for finance, if you are married, most especially in community of property, it's the chances of being granted are higher than when you are married out of community of property or when you are single.
When you are, please repeat that.
When you are married in community of property,
yes,
you are seen as two people, as one person. Yes, but you are two, meaning there are two incomes. So the chances of getting a finances being granted are very high. But if it's out of community of property, they are low, because you guys are separate, but you are married, but you are separate.
Yeah.
And even if you are single, you are not married. It's a very difficult process.
So maybe take us through there, because I know there are other women that are in community of property and want to change. I did my own research. I went through everything. So maybe tell them how they can potentially change. And why I'm saying this is because I had one guest here, Madam Speaker. Ne? She spoke about her marriage. Her husband was a good man. He was humbled. He was a good father. They had a good relationship. However, the man was not financially good. Like, he was just reckless with finances, you know. And I forgot to ask her this because I went through I know about like post snapshots and stuff. I've went through it. So I forgot to ask her, if this husband is good and is doing everything, and the problem is just finances, why didn't you do a post snapshot? And be out of community and know that financially we are not in a relationship because you are reckless. But then other parts of the relationship, you are okay. You know? So there are other women that are out there that are in financial abused a relationship. Or it's not always abuse. Sometimes you just see that, okay, now I know that a business can go this way. And then I am in business myself now. And then now we've got children. Can one person be safe out of the other one's issues and like financial issues, you know? Because in my marriage, it's not financial recklessness or anything like that, but it's business. And I looked at it now I'm also in business. Now I'm also posing another risk on top of another risk that we are already in, you know. So how about we be out and we could, if one person is drowning, the other one can save the family with whatever that they have. Yeah.
No, the issue with AMA post ANCs is that number one, very they're expensive because an advocate needs to be involved to move the application, their adverts, and also a notary also needs to be involved because they need to draft the ANC and the court needs to sit and run it.
Yeah.
And run the deeds office but register it. So usually business people do get married out of community of property.
Yeah.
Because they are trying to protect all those debts, more special when the business is not doing good. But there's this other thing in practice which I don't recommend.
Please tell us.
Which I don't recommend. The people get divorced and go get married.
Oh, yes, I've had that option as well. And I looked at it, I was like, I'd rather pay. Because what if this man refused to get married again?
Unfortunately, that's the case for men. Because you get divorced and then tomorrow, like, let's go get married, I'm fine. And there's nothing you can do. And it's not a what you call an ethical thing to do according to law. You don't get divorced and get married tomorrow.
You are a crook. You are a scam.
Yeah, you are
scamming the system.
You are abusing the court because when you get divorced, you are saying I'm no longer interested in this marriage.
Yes, they posed that one to me. And I was like, Wabanayo is the last one. I would rather just stay in my in-cop to divorce this man. You know, sometimes maybe even ask how maybe this person is busy. Like today he's busy, tomorrow he's busy. That other day you are busy. Hey, I don't want to try that.
No, but unfortunately people do it, and I've never seen a successful case.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. I've never seen.
So what happened? They will go out and then the other party will say, no, I'm no longer getting married.
Usually in practice, men are the ones who are in business.
Yeah.
So the women will see that, we are running a risk of being insolvent. Then they will go and suggest being divorced. And during that time, they are running out of finances.
Yes.
So they can't even do a post ANC. So like, let's go get divorced. And after that, the men will disappear. Usually it's led by women, unfortunately.
Yes,
it's led by women.
And in my case, it's just, my husband is like, I've never said we must marry in cop. That's where now I'm just tight like this. But fortunately enough, there is money for us to do a post, But it's like, hey, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
No, but it's possible. It's not a complicated application. It's possible. People do it every day. But it's just that it involves a lot of people. And most especially if you have a bond, the bank might maybe withdraw the bond. Say, no, you guys now are two different people. You need to reapply and see if he will approve you now. Because there are a lot of things, because there are creditors now who are interested in the marriage.
Yeah. So how long could it potentially take?
6 months, maybe 6 months maximum. Because now the advert needs to run. The advert is for creditors. So when you advertise, you are telling the banks and everyone that these people are intending of getting married out of committal property.
Yes.
Now the banks must know and they must object. They must be given time to object.
Sure. Guys, we just got in marriages, and that's why it was important for me to bring you, because I once contacted you as well and I was asking you. It's like I have all the information, but then because I have to pay a lot of money, and my husband is like, but that's up to you. I'm not going to incur any cost. But you will incur the costs.
Unfortunately, that's the only way, because you are scared of the divorcing, which is unethical. Also, I don't recommend that.
No, also even spiritual, I know I don't want to divorce. I know. Moto Atlantic true colors. After I've said, okay, my thing is that also in future, when we have like billions of money, also in future, I still feel that we need to be out of, even when we've got billions, because now it looks like when women wants to do it, it's like we want to do it when we see that, okay, we had there's 2 rents today, and then tomorrow we've got 1 rent, and then now you want to do 1, 2, 3. For me, it goes beyond. And those things you accumulate when you are in the marriage, unfortunately. And people that are not married, you need to know those things prior to you getting married. Some of us, we are learning them in marriage, And then now, okay, now we are billionaires tomorrow, and then there's a trust. We can do a trust. Then what are those trust things? The wills and all those things. Like a trust to say, I don't know. What is a trust?
Trusts are also a recommended procedure to follow if you don't have money, maybe to get a post ANC, because now a trust is a legal entity which you create, which has rights and responsibilities like any other natural person. Yeah. But it's not a natural person, it's a legal person who is created at the master. Now you create it, you give it a name, you appoint trustees, you appoint beneficiaries. Then it's a complete a human being. I call it a human being.
Yeah.
A human being who never dies.
Yeah.
Then you transfer your assets, maybe your house, into the trust. You create a bank account for the trust. You transfer monies there. Then you transfer everything into the trust. Now, when it's in the trust, that means you guys have nothing now in the marriage. Okay. Meaning all the assets now don't belong to that marriage. You have sold them or you have donated them into the trust. So you guys have nothing in each other's name, meaning income of property is still fine.
That's what I've heard. That's what when we were consulting, they were like, no, the trust, because I'm not looking for now, I'm also looking in the future. We can wake up billionaires, whatever, and then what will still make us not to be in a situation where we are insolvent or we are both insolvent. That's just my thing. More so because we've got children, So on the case of trust, I've got an ex-colleague whose husband made a child in the marriage. Who's made a child in the marriage, and now my ex-colleague has been worried. The child, I think now is 6 or whatever, but she's worried about the baby mama claiming from the husband's estate when he dies. So what happens in that instance where I know already my husband had children before I met him or when we broke up, but for somebody like it's hard to just accept a child who was made in your marriage, and then what will happen when there's a child involved? I think in the marriage, even out of marriage, is the same thing. As long as there's a child, what happens?
If there's a child, most especially, let's just start in the marriage.
Yeah.
And the child maybe was made during the marriage with a dead part. Now the child is a biological person of the person who is in the marriage.
Yes.
Meaning the father in the marriage must take care of the child.
Yes.
Which child doesn't belong in the marriage. If the father dies, the child has a claim of maintenance against the estate of the father, even though the father is married and not with the mother of
the child.
Yeah, of the child.
Yeah.
So now that will also bring, because we're talking about inheritance, now that also brings the amount inheritance of the wife and the children who are in the marriage to be lesser. Because that child is part and parcel of the person who died. So we can't exclude them. Just because they are out of wedlock.
Yeah.
Because in law, out of wedlock doesn't exist. If you got children before and even after, they are still yours and you have to take care of them. So those are the effects. And if the person dies, the mother who is left must treat that child the same as the children who were in the marriage. Meaning if everyone is getting 50,000, everyone is getting 50,000.
Hey! So now the responsibility that was on the husband is going to be on the wife.
No, now after the estate has been wound up and it's been completed, the husband is no more. So that the wife is now single.
Yeah.
So she has her own things. She has inherited. She has her own things. The child who was out of wedlock has inherited.
Yeah, so we're going our separate ways.
We are going our separate ways.
I've seen this lady on TikTok who was harassing the wife after the husband. The husband was even still alive. The husband lost the job, or the husband does not have money anymore. And the baby mama was going to the wife, claiming from the wife or something like that. And I was like, try me. And try me.
No, unfortunately, recent case law decides that if the child is not biologically yours, you don't have the duty to support. So unfortunately, in the maintenance cost, those cases don't succeed.
Because, I even commented that they shout me. They're like, yeah, you have to. I'm like, no woman is going to claim from me going to work for, it doesn't work like that. Especially if my husband is no longer there. We can't do that. Already when we are in marriage, I'm supporting those kids by virtue of us being together, because all the money that is in the household, we're all working for it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's me taking care of those children. So now when my husband goes, I still have to be claimed my
unfortunately, no. If maybe they don't make a claim against the estate, or maybe they make a claim, they get less money.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, after that, there's no other claim. Maybe you can go for the parents of the deceased. I think, yeah, those are grandparents. They can, if they have the financial support, they can support their child. But the wife is no longer part of the marriage.
So what is it? Someone also commented on my thing and said, I can't remember, I think it was on Mendy. Mendy's a baby mama. We're talking about this whole things. And then they said, do not send money from your account. They were advising me, do not send money from your account because that baby mama will use that against. I'm like, hey, but guys, don't even try me. Maybe if my husband is married to another woman, but me, don't try me. What is that?
The issue is the duty of support. People don't understand the duty of support.
What does that mean?
Duty of support, if I have a child, I have the duty to support the child.
You?
Me. Even if I'm married in community of property.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of case laws. Practically, in the maintenance court, those matters don't succeed. Because the only thing the magistrate will say, Uzoti, go find the father of the child. This is not the father of the child.
Yeah.
Or this is not you are the mother, so you must make means. This was the wife of the deceased, not maybe the mother or the mother or the father of the deceased.
Yeah.
She was a wife. So you can't give her the responsibility to support a child that is not theirs. Unfortunately, recent case law denies that. But there is a little bit messy, most especially from the magistrate and the judges. Yeah. Maybe they will give a period of maybe 3 months or 6 months from the estate or from the wife to benefit, but it's exceptional cases.
Yeah. I'll find a very strong lawyer. You won't even succeed. You see that one? No. Let's not even go there, my dear.
But now,
like also, why would you even do that to their wife? Why would you do that? Because the person that you were liable to has passed on. Like, why are you harassing me?
No, those issues are outside the legal, legal field, because now they are personal. Yeah. It's a woman-to-woman thing.
Yeah. You see, it's very personal to me. You see, I even project my voice when I speak about those things.
Yeah, it's a woman-to-woman thing, and unfortunately, the law doesn't entertain it. But maybe if there's a trust.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. My ex-colleague now and the husband, they made a trust. Because this woman really does not want this kid to benefit anything. And because she's saying that she was made in her marriage, she's angry. You know, I don't know if you cannot never be justified, especially when there is a child. But I guess she's a bit justified for her anger. So now they have made a trust. And they've put everything in the trust. So what will happen to this child?
If the child is not nominated as a beneficiary.
In that, obviously, I get we are talking about these people. Now this woman, the trust is in her kid's name, and her is the what
trustees.
Yes. So what happens in that case?
No, unfortunately, if you are not a beneficiary of the trust, you can't benefit from the trust. Because what happens with a trust, we have 3 trustees maybe. Those 3 trustees are the people who take decisions on the trust.
Yeah.
So if the beneficiaries, the trustees will sit down and say maybe beneficiary 1 is attending school, and this is the invoice from the school.
Yeah.
So let's pay 150,000 this year. Then that 150,000 is authorized.
Yeah.
You go to the bank, they pay.
Yeah.
So that's how a trust works. You can, but usually people bring applications of maintenance against the trust.
Yeah.
Maybe if the husband was also a beneficiary or a trustee, now they will bring an application and say, I'm also entitled to be maintained by the trust.
Yeah.
Because my father was part of the trust. Now that's a different argument. You need to have strong arguments in court because, as I said, a trust is a different entity.
Yeah.
It's not linked to anyone. It's just that it has governors who are trustees.
Yeah.
So you can't say a governor, I'm a trustee, then my child now brings an application against the trust and say my father was a trustee in that trust. No, it's a different argument. You need to prove exceptional cases in order to win.
Yeah.
That maintenance against the trust, more especially if you are not a beneficiary. So a lot of people, they bring this argument to court to say that the trust was created to derive them from inheriting. Now, that argument stands in certain courts, in certain courts it doesn't. Stand. Yeah. So recently, a person who raised that case, that argument, won it at High Court and went to the Supreme Court of Appeal, and the claim was dismissed. It was dismissed because the person argued that the trust was created for deceased estate purposes, not to hide the things.
No.
The guy said, I created this trust because I wanted my children to be secured for life, not for to hide assets. And the Supreme Court of Appeal came to a different judgment and said the wife, it was the wife, that she can't benefit from the trust.
Because she was not part of the beneficiaries of the trust.
She was not part of, she was just the administrator. She was administrating monthly invoices for the husband.
So now why wasn't she part of the trust? Why wasn't she part of the trust? Oh, she didn't know.
I thought she was part of the trust by virtue of marriage.
Hey. But
unfortunately, just because you are married to a person and they are a trustee, that doesn't make you a co-trustee in the trust.
No, the INCOP does not come in there.
If you are appointed as a trustee, you are appointed alone. Even if you are a beneficiary, you are appointed alone in a trust, not because you are married. That's why even if a married person is appointed as a trustee or a beneficiary, they can be named alone. The Xolani Malinga is a beneficiary.
Yes.
And done. Even if I'm married.
Yeah.
Meaning when I die, my beneficiaries then can come and not even they can't come. The trustees need to sit down and decide what now happens.
Yeah.
If they come to a conclusion that the children of Xolani must benefit, that's what will happen.
Yeah.
If they come to a conclusion that Xolani now is dead, no one will benefit, that's what will happen. Unfortunately, that's the...
But then obviously the whole point of now, obviously now this ex-colleague of mine will benefit in that case. And if they want to now come and say the trust was made for that child not to be supported, then they'll have to fight it, which will take forever and, you know. Okay, so now why would a person open a trust and put themselves as the administrator? For example, as the trustee. For example, my husband makes a trust. He's not part of... When he made a trust, and then the lawyers are the ones that are liable for the execution of, well, I don't know what you guys say, execution of the what. And me and our children, we are the beneficiaries of the trust. So why would a person now put themselves as the trustee, what?
One of the trustees will take decisions on the trust.
Yes, on the trust. Because obviously they can come for you because you are...
No, unfortunately, if I create a trust, I can also be a trustee because it's my trust. I want to be involved in the decision making of the trust.
But then the court cannot come now and say this trustee has a maintenance that is pending or whatever. Now they can come in.
No, unfortunately, if you create a trust and you are a trustee, everyone who is a trustee there is not personally yes, it's not personally affected to the trust.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
Meaning if you sue them in their own personal capacity,
it does not involve
you are
the
suing
trust.
them in their own capacity. So if you want to sue them in their capacity of the trustee, you need to cite them as such. That I'm citing them in their capacity as a trustee because there's something I want in the trust.
Yeah.
Not to them personal. So just because you are a trustee, that doesn't mean now what's happening outside your trust will affect the trust.
The trust.
The trust is a different independent legal entity.
And I think you are explaining so well when you say it's a human being on their own.
It's a different human being who lives forever.
I think that's a way. I personally feel that that's a way. That's a way, especially when you have got children, especially when you've got businesses, especially when they're extramarital children, you know. I think trusts are the way. And I want us to speak about side chicks. This woman, you stitched her thing. I blocked that woman, so I can't see that video anymore. What was she saying? And then your response, you were telling that woman that it doesn't go like that. On TikTok.
And I feel bad for making, because she has stopped making
those. He was trolling me the other time I blocked, so I don't see her content anymore. She has stopped
making videos which involve legal things. She now advises personally to people. But she was saying, she was talking about side chicks, or she was talking about married women.
Yes.
Their lights being dimmed.
By side chicks.
Yeah, by side chicks. And the side chicks, what you call houses, being light because the husband now is feeding the side chick. So now I raised a case. There was a case of Bobabe and another, which was a case which was held in Polokwane High Court. So what the wife did in that case was, when the divorce proceedings were ongoing, she made an application within the divorce to claim all the monies that were spent on the side chick. So
wait, the wife made an application?
Yes, I think they are divorcing. The husband and the wife are divorcing.
Sure. Yes.
So when the wife noticed on the bank statement
that this man has been sending money. Okay.
He built the side chick a house, gave the side chick allowance, and there was a child now.
Yeah.
Even the furniture that was in that house was bought by, and the company was a family company. So they owned the company. Now the husband used it to support the side chick. So that's where the wife stopped the divorce proceedings to make an application. We call it an interlocutor, an application within an action, meaning there's a pending case, but then we bring another pending case in the interest of the already pending case. Because the wife was trying to collect all the assets of the estate so that everything will be divided accordingly at the end.
Yes.
So she sued the woman and claimed that everything, even the house, the money, monthly allowance,
the furniture
must be brought back into the estate.
And it was that successful?
Yes, it was.
Guys, we need to really educate ourselves because these side chicks are taking advantage of us.
It was successful, unfortunately, and the courts granted her to pay back everything and also pay back the cost of everything into the estate so that the divorce will be successful at the end and everything will be separated accordingly. There's also a recent case in Joburg High Court.
Please tell me.
But unfortunately, it was not successful because of a prescription. Now, the wife did the same thing as Bopape by claiming back the assets of the marriage. But unfortunately, because now there was a 3-year gap, meaning the claim has prescribed.
What do you mean 3-year gap?
So if you owe me,
yes,
I have 3 years to claim that money.
Oh.
So the side chick owed the estate. She had three years. The wife had, or the husband had 3 years to claim the money, but they did after 5 years or 6 years. I'm sure maybe she became aware of the vid.
Yes.
And then because it's a recent case, then she went and claimed. But unfortunately, due to prescription, the judge couldn't grant the order because it's a prescribed matter.
Guys, you know what? Wives, we are winning. We're going to win. With this podcast, I'm with you guys because that's just information that we did not have. And me personally, I would do that. More so because when my husband goes to his side chick, he uses our money. He uses my money. I work in this household, you know. So when he goes and pays his side chick X amount of money, that's my money. So I'll gladly go and claim. You see me, I have a lot of time to fight. You see, if there is a divorce or whatever, I will fight till the end. I will fight till the end. Because men, and I love the law now because it's understanding that women, we are always in like the negative with the men's actions. Now you take our money in the household, you go and better Bebeti. You take the money, you go and better. You build Bebeti a house, you buy Bebeti a car. You guys have, and now in here, there's no way where I'm taking the money. I just work and I'm putting inside the household. You are taking out. Bebeti will pay. Now with this law, Bebeti will pay.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's true. Because if you are married in community of property, you can't act until your spouse approves.
Yeah.
So if I want to send someone money, I need approval from my spouse.
But these men are just going wild, actually, buying cars without telling us.
That is why Lama claim they are all being successful. Because if you check Bupape,
yes,
the girl claimed donation, that things were donated. Now, the wife came and said, the husband can't donate without my approval. So that's how she won the case, because the husband didn't get the approval of the wife.
I know. We are winning because wow. So in conclusion, which marriage would you, and why, you see, in COP benefits the one that is not making money. It benefits the one that is not making money. And many men are making money. Do you understand? And then now when I'm going to be married out of community with a man that is making a lot of money. Okay, when me and my husband are out of community, and then who is going to now claim that the out of community things that belongs to him? Maybe out of community without accrual. Like that when the things that we do in marriage are ours. The things that he has done in marriage are his. Who now benefits from those ones that are his?
It's unfortunately him and maybe the children and the siblings, or even the side chick or the mother and everything. Because if you are married out of community of property, what's mine, it's mine, what's yours, it's yours. Meaning I don't need your approval to do things with my own finances or whatever. So if I die, unfortunately, there's no 50%. The only thing we estate, you get the 250 because you are a wife, but then you can't get the 50%. The other 50% goes to the children, if they're children, the mother or the father or other siblings.
Can I tell him to make a will and put me in that money as well?
Definitely, because a will are my last intentions of that deceased, so you can nominate anyone.
Because me, I want that. I want to be part of the money that he made before. I want to be part of the money. You know, when a marriage is a lot of work, I want the money. I don't even want the man to think that he's going to trick me.
So it's better you get married in community. That's what
I think that's and honestly, I think that's just for me, honestly speaking. We must just work hard and be above. The trust is there, and just be above all these things that could potentially happen to our estate and our whatever, our credits and everything for the sake of our children. Because I know he works hard and he has got a lot of money, so I cannot miss that bus. Anyway, what would you advise a person who's getting married today? And this is professionally, not with emotions and everything. Would you advise them to marry in community of property, out of community of property, with or without accrual and stuff?
Usually, my clients, I advise them to create a trust while there are no issues. Because if you create a trust while there are no issues and work under the trust, you are safeguarding everything. That's what I advise everyone to do. If you create a trust while you are still young, you work under the trust, you build under the trust, then when you get married, you have control over everything, because we know with my marriage, things change.
Wait, we create a trust when we're still dating?
Yeah, you can. A trust can be traded by anyone who has the legal capacity.
Yeah.
So if you trade it, then you get married, because things change. Things change. Tomorrow, practically, we know that people even kill each other.
Even people change.
You see. So if I die and I have 3 people who can still represent me, they know what's happening after I die. If there are allegations that my wife killed me, they will know what to do. But if you write a will, then if I die, the will stand. Yeah, you can challenge it in the High Court, but you need proof. And usually in African settings, there's no proof of the killings. So if you can create a trust earlier, while you are still young, while you are still developing, you create a trust, you build under it, you are safe for life. But if you didn't get an opportunity, get married out of community of property and plan accordingly and do a will. Yeah, but unfortunately, in Job and Shilo, things change. You die today, tomorrow, the people you nominated on your will, maybe they are your siblings or your aunt, they're chasing your wife out. So no one will stand for you at that point.
Why would you put your mother on the will?
Because maybe you wanted peace, you wanted everyone to benefit.
Why? And I think also it's just because also the wives can sideline the mother once they're, okay, I get that, but then now what, guys?
So that's why I propose a trust, because now you have 3 people who are still alive representing you. In meetings, in High Court applications and everything, they are there to talk to for you. They know your true intentions. If your mother killed you, they know with the allegations and all those things. So I honestly propose a trust over everything.
So guys, trust. Even if you are already in COP, trust. Out of COP, before you get married, trust. Hi guys, let's safeguard everything, hey? Anyway, thank you so much for your time, Xolani. And I'm going to link his, I think by now you would have linked his TikTok. Follow him. And I hope you stick to that and you make it a niche, because it's very interesting. I'm always like, oh, this is very interesting. So stick to like talking about, even telling us about the cases that are already there. It's just so intriguing. There are things that we don't take into account, which we have to take into account. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. And it's Love and Light. I will see you in the next episode. Bye.